I'm Eric Nason with Newsshooter.com. We are at IBC 2019. I'm at the Aputure booth with Ted. How's it going, Ted?
Doing good, doing good.
So we have a light here that, well, people want this,
Yes.
and you did it. Let's talk about it.
This is something we've been getting asked for like 3 to 4 years. I'm going to be totally honest. Bicolor, of course, is something that people have been asking for ever since we came out with the 120T and the 120D, our single source chip on board Bowens mount lights. It's only natural, right? You have daylight, you have tungsten. Why can't I have a bicolor version of this light? There's LED panels that have bicolor, right? Should be easy. Problem though is that with panels, anything that has a diffusion plate over it, you're dealing with multiple LEDs that are bicolor and that they're tungsten and daylight. They're not both. You're actually just fading between 2 different types of LEDs to get that color range. Problem though is that with a single source, point source LED, you're asking for bicolor. It's a really hard thing to do. It doesn't really make sense. Not a lot of room in there. So one of the things that I've seen a lot of people do is I've seen a lot of people do this wrong. And again, here's the reason why I'm going to say it's wrong is because anytime you put optics in front of a chip on board LED, you have to make sure it's consistent. Like entirely consistent. I'm not talking about stripes. I'm not talking about 2 different chips, which most bicolor lights out there that have tried to do something similar in a Bowens mount light, they either have a big fat tungsten light, a big fat daylight light, and they blend between the two. And not only do they make 2 shadows, but you put it in a Fresnel and the left is all of a sudden going to look tungsten, the right's going to look daylight. You put it in a spotlight or any kind of optic, even worse. Second thing I've seen is I've seen people do stripes. I see them do like almost tiger stripes on their LED. Daylight, tungsten, daylight, tungsten. Again, sounds great in a softbox, but as soon as you snap a Fresnel on there, as soon as you snap any kind of spotlight on there, the entire thing, all of a sudden, you'll see the actual stripes in the projection. Terrible, doesn't work. Especially when we make the modifiers and we make the light, it's got to make all together. So this right here is actually the world's first chip on board bicolor LED light that is one source. Super duper exciting about this because again, you can actually snap this onto a Fresnel and a spotlight because it's not using either of those methods. It's actually not even using chip on board. What it's actually using is it's using a technology called CSP, which is actually a board that we made ourselves. We actually designed this chip, worked with our manufacturers to create this, patented this, made it by ourselves, which when I open this up, you're gonna take a look at it. This means that when I dim through this entire color here, the whole thing is consistent left to right. And even better, if I take something like a Fresnel, like the Fresnel 2X, I snap this on there, I zoom through it, bang, I go through, and the entire thing changes color, and there's no problem. We're not seeing any fringing or anything like that. So, as far as brightness goes, I know people are always going to ask, right? You were thinking it. I know you were thinking. Okay, so anytime you have bicolor lights, usually it's about half the brightness, right? But for this, anything in between 4,400 Kelvin all the way up to 5,500 Kelvin, so daylight to most of tungsten, this will actually give you approximately about the brightness of a 300D Mark I. So still really bright. On the far end, so you can do 2,700 all the way up to 6,500. Those 2 ends are actually going to get about the brightness of a 120D Mark II, just about 185 watts. So again, not as bright as the 300D Mark II, but for all you broadcast guys out there or people that set up stages or have flats, mixed lighting is the key. So for all you guys out there, we finally have it. We've got a bicolor, 300DX standing for crossfaded in the way.
That's fantastic. Give the people what they want.
What do they want?
They wanted that bicolor, that's for sure. And now, is this a prototype here and pricing, availability, when do you think it'll happen?
Absolutely, yeah. So everything that you're seeing here, look, all the design qualities that we got on the 300D Mark II, carrying right over here. The only difference really as far as the build goes is this kind of carbon fiber plating here, just something sleek to really differentiate it. So if you're fumbling in the dark, you'll be able to know the difference between your bicolor and your daylight lights. Everything build quality, all there. Pricing and availability. Pricing is not set yet, can't confirm it, but as far as availability goes, we're looking at Q1 2020. We expect it to be out end of January, early February is the main goal.
All right, thanks a lot, Ted. Looks
Absolutely. Good. Thanks so much.